Vinay Deshpande is in conversation with Paramjeet Singh Dahiya.
In the eye of the storm right now is Mumbai Police's DCP Paramjeet Dahiya after those WhatsApp conversations were leaked in which he was sought help from a relative of Sushant Singh Rajput. Sir, you had got those WhatsApp messages from another IPS officer, the brother-in-law of Sushant Singh Rajput. How did you know this person? How did he contact you?
Sir came to Mumbai in the first week of February. If I remember correctly, it was on 5th of February that he landed. He had come on a holiday with his wife, and one of my batchmates from Haryana, he had called up saying that sir will be calling, and he basically requested for certain protocols like reception at the airport, at the hotel, and some adjustment with the hotel bills and the normal things that a senior officer would demand for protocol and all that. And he also, during the course of 3 days, he was in touch with me. He also requested if he could meet Mr. Sachin Tendulkar. And then when he went back, he also sent a very warm thank you message to me. Another thing that he requested me was that the SHO of the Bandra police station, he should get in touch with Mr. Sushant Singh Rajput's manager.
Sir, just a minute. Let me interrupt you here. You mean to say before February of this year, you did not know this person?
I had heard about him because he is a very famous IPS officer in Haryana, but we did not have any regular contacts per se. So he basically requested that the SHO of the Bandra police station should get in touch with the manager of Mr. Sushant Singh Rajput, and we should let Sushant Singh Rajput's manager know that the couple was in Mumbai, which seemed a little bit strange to me because being the brother-in-law, I thought he would have called him up, but I did not pay much heed to this particular thing at that time.
So you are saying that when he was in Mumbai, he requested you to send somebody from the police force to Sushant Singh's office to summon him to meet him?
That is correct.
And did he say why he wanted to do that despite he being the brother-in-law and he had accompanied his wife as well who was here? The sister or the brother-in-law did not directly get in touch with them?
Ma'am, since he was a senior officer, I did not think it is pertinent to counter-question him. He just requested me on WhatsApp and we acceded to the request.
So after this, what was the conversation you had with him?
Well, he was here in Mumbai. He also invited me out for a dinner one time, which I could not attend because at that time CA and NRC protests were going on. And he departed in a very happy mood. He sent me thank you messages, and he also said that if I have any work up in Haryana, I should contact him. And that was the end of it. Until those messages again came back, which are now floating on the media on the 19th of February and 25th of February.
सर लेकिन दोनों ही मैसेजेस में 19th और 25th फरवरी के मैसेजेस में ऐसा दिखाई पड़ रहा है कि बहुत ही सीरियस प्रॉब्लम है और आपसे मदद मांगी जा रही है. इट इज अकिन टू एन SOS कॉल और इतना SOS कॉल आपको करके भी आपने मदद नहीं की. तो इसके बारे में क्या तथ्य है हमें बताइए.
देखिए 19 फरवरी और 25 फरवरी को कुछ व्हाट्सएप कन्वर्सेशन मुझे फॉरवर्ड किए गए थे. उनमें से कुछ कन्वर्सेशन उन्होंने खुद टाइप करके भेजे थे और कुछ फॉरवर्डेड कन्वर्सेशन थे जिसके नीचे उन्होंने लिखा था दिस इज फ्रॉम प्रियंका हर लॉयर सिस्टर. ये कन्वर्सेशंस पढ़ने के बाद टेलीफोन पे भी हमारी बात हुई. सर का ऐसा कहना था कि द लेडी कंसर्न्ड शी शुड बी हैंडल्ड इनफॉर्मली, मीनिंग विच दैट दे शुड बी कॉल्ड टू द पुलिस स्टेशन एंड प्रेशराइज्ड.
उसका क्या मतलब होता है? इनफॉर्मली कॉल टू द पुलिस स्टेशन एंड प्रेशराइज का क्या मतलब होता है?
इनफॉर्मली का मतलब होता है कि रिटर्न कंप्लेंट नहीं दी है, व्हाट्सएप पे आपको बता दिया है, व्हाट्सएप के बेसिस पे आप उन्हें पुलिस स्टेशन बुला लीजिए. आई पोलाइटली टोल्ड सर दैट विदाउट अ रिटर्न कंप्लेंट दिस इज नॉट पॉसिबल. I have to have a written complaint to call a lady or her associates to the police station. In one of the WhatsApp chats also pertinently, which I have sent to you also, it is mentioned that there is some guy called Miranda, which they want to be called to the police station and held in police custody for a day. And all together on the basis of WhatsApp messages. So I have very politely but firmly told, sir, this is not possible. We need to have a written complaint. And that was the end of the story.
तो आपको बोला गया कि रिया को पुलिस स्टेशन पे बुलाइए, इनफॉर्मली और प्रेशराइज करिए, थोड़ा सा धौंस दिखाइए. दूसरी तरफ ये जो मिरांडा बंदा है उसको इनफॉर्मली एक तरफ जेल में डाल दीजिए 1 दिन के लिए. क्यों ये सब करना है?
देखिए, ये मुझे बोला गया था कि उन्हें इनफॉर्मली पुलिस स्टेशन बुलाइए. जो मिरांडा की बात है वो व्हाट्सएप मैसेजेस में था, लेकिन मिरांडा के बारे में उन्होंने मुझसे फोन पे बात नहीं की है. लेकिन उनका बेसिक मंशा ये थी कि ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द व्हाट्सएप मैसेजेस द कंसर्न पीपल दे शुड बी हॉल्ड अप टू द पुलिस स्टेशन, व्हिच आई पोलाइटली टोल्ड वाज नॉट पॉसिबल।
लेकिन क्यों बुलवाना चाहते थे? उनका एप्रीहेंशन क्या था? सुशांत के बारे में, रिया के बारे में एप्रीहेंशन क्या था?
See, if you go through those particular WhatsApp messages, it is quite clear that the family, they basically thought that the lady was controlling that particular guy, and there was some sort of a trouble between both of them, due to which the family, the thrust of the messages of the family wanted her out of the life of Mr. Sushant Singh Rajput. But my point was a legal point. Even if there is a complaint, we have to have a written complaint, and there has to be substantial material in the complaint for the people, any people, whether it is a girl or a boy, to be called to the police station.
तो यानी कि सर, एक लिव इन रिलेशनशिप में दो एडल्ट्स हैं, लेकिन एक की फैमिली को वो मंजूर नहीं है, उसमें उनको प्रॉब्लम लगता है, ना लड़के ने कंप्लेंट करी है ना लड़की ने कंप्लेंट करी है, ऐसे स्पॉट में आपका उसमें क्या रोल बनता था?
एग्जैक्टली यही हमारा कहना था कि ना लड़के की कंप्लेंट है ना लड़की की कंप्लेंट है। अगर आपकी भी कंप्लेंट है तो वो रिटर्न कंप्लेंट होनी चाहिए।
तो फिर उसके बाद क्या उन्होंने परस्यू किया? आपने उनको बोला कि रिटर्न कंप्लेंट दीजिए, क्या आपके पास रिटर्न कंप्लेंट आई?
देखिए, हमारे पास कोई भी रिटर्न कंप्लेंट नहीं आई, हमारे पास कोई भी ईमेल कंप्लेंट नहीं आई। उसके बाद 28 फरवरी को सर ने एक और मैसेज मुझे भेजा, which purportedly was sent to some other third person, most probably सुशांत सिंह राजपूत, जो कि मैसेज में उन्होंने काफी लंबा चौड़ा लिखा है कि कैसे उनका फोन नहीं उठाया जाता, और शायद बोला गया है बुद्धा, जो कि उनके घर में काम करते थे, कि मेरा फोन ना ले, उन्हें भी इंस्ट्रक्शंस हैं। वो चैट भी मैंने आपके साथ शेयर किया है। 28 फरवरी को ये मैसेज है, और इस 28 फरवरी के बाद कभी भी मुझसे फॉलोअप नहीं लिया गया। मार्च में फॉलोअप नहीं लिया गया। 1 अप्रैल को, यानी कि सुशांत सिंह जी के डिमाइस से 2.5 महीने पहले मेरा बांद्रा से ट्रांसफर हो गया। मुझे सर के 2 मैसेजेस दोबारा मई में आए। 5 मई को 5 मई के मैसेज में ही वॉज ग्रेशियस इनफ टू इंक्वायर अबाउट माई हेल्थ। ही हैड हर्ड दैट IPS ऑफिसर हैड टेस्टेड कोविड पॉजिटिव इन मुंबई, तो ही वॉज जस्ट इंक्वायरिंग अबाउट माई हेल्थ। एंड ऑन 18th ऑफ मे, अगेन आफ्टर 5th ऑफ मे, ऑन 18th ऑफ मे दोबारा उन्होंने मैसेज भेजा था किसी माइग्रेंट लेबर को मदद करने के लिए, जो कि उनके गांव का था और मुंबई में तब फंसा हुआ था। लेकिन ये 5 मई और 18 मई के मैसेजेस में भी इस ओरिजिनल व्हाट्सएप मैसेजेस का कोई रेफरेंस मुझे नहीं दिया गया था।
तो आपका कहना यह है कि अगर ये SOS मैसेजेस थे कि इतने सीरियस टेंशन में या इतने सीरियस प्रॉब्लम में सुशांत सिंह राजपूत खुद हैं, तो ना उन्होंने खुद ने कंप्लेंट करी, ना उन 2 मैसेजेस के बाद उनके ब्रदर इन लॉ जिनसे आपकी बात हुई उन्होंने भी ये परस्यू किया मैटर?
मेरे पास उसके बाद उनके कोई भी व्हाट्सएप मैसेजेस नहीं आए हैं, और उसी टाइम पे बहुत ही क्लियरली बता दिया गया, एंड इट इज क्वाइट कॉमन सेंसिकल स्पीकिंग, इफ इट वाज अ SOS मैसेज देन इमीडिएटली दे शुड हैव फॉरवर्डेड सम रिटन कंप्लेंट टू द पुलिस स्टेशन।
They have said that a written complaint was sent to Bandra police station as well, और जो आपसे उनकी बात हुई उसके बाद भी आपने रिप्लाई नहीं किया। एक सवाल ऐसा भी उठाया जा रहा है कि अगर आपने उस वक्त इंटरवीन किया होता तो शायद सुशांत सिंह राजपूत की जान बच सकती। इसे कैसे देखते हैं आप?
देखिए, 25 फरवरी के व्हाट्सएप चैट हैं, और मेरा वहां से ट्रांसफर 1 अप्रैल को हुआ था, एग्जैक्टली 1 महीने बाद। उसके भी 2.5 महीने के बाद ये इंसिडेंट हुआ है। 3.5 महीने का समय था फैमिली के पास इंटरवीन करने के लिए और बैंड्रा पुलिस स्टेशन को अप्रोच करने के लिए। एंड बीइंग अ सर इज अ वेरी सीनियर IPS ऑफिसर, ही कुड हैव पिक्ड अप द फोन एंड टॉक टू एनीबडी इन द हायरार्की रिगार्डिंग दैट, बट देयर वाज नो रिटन कंप्लेंट दैट वी रिसीव्ड।
So this was DCP Paramjit Singh Dahiya making it amply clear that not only did the family not follow up with those SOS messages that were sent, but also raising questions about the demands that were made, informally putting somebody behind the bars, informally calling somebody to police station and pressurizing them. This is what the family members has sought from Mumbai police, which is recognized worldwide as an extremely professional force. With video journalist Nitin Sonawne, this is Vinaya Deshpande from Mumbai.
This certainly is a huge twist now. Why was Sushant Singh Rajput's family asking for Riya Chakravarti to be picked up and called to the police station? Why were they not keen on registering a formal complaint? And why were there no follow-ups by the family? The officer being pointed out here by the DCP is OP Singh, who is the brother-in-law of Sushant Singh Rajput, and he, remember, is right now the commissioner of Faridabad, and that is the reason why he approached Paramjit Singh Dahiya as a colleague someone who is working in police force in another state and tried to ensure that everything is done informally. There was no formal complaint is what is being highlighted by Paramjit Singh Dahiya. Remember, the SOS messages were sent by Sushant Singh Rajput's brother-in-law, OP Singh, to him. And he says clearly that there has been no follow-up ever since the first message and the second message was sent on 19th and 25th of February. Vinaya Deshpande, who spoke to the former DCP of Bandra, is joining us live. Vinaya, certainly this is a clear twist here, which raises questions again about how serious were the nature of the SOS. If indeed it was about a threat to Sushant Singh Rajput's life, then why didn't the family do a follow-up of those SOS messages? Vinaya.
Well, absolutely, Maria. Several serious questions are raised because of the way the DCP has spoken right now, particularly after he has said that when Mr. O.P. Singh came to Mumbai along with his wife, remember this was Sushant Singh's real sister and brother-in-law, instead of calling up Sushant Singh, the officer concerned, that is O.P. Singh, requested Mr. Dahiya to send a police personnel to Sushant Singh's manager and to summon Sushant Singh to meet him. Which brother-in-law would ask a police personnel to be sent to summon his own relative, his own brother-in-law, to come and meet him? Why not just pick up the call and talk? The questions on how the family relations were, whether there were family rivalries, whether all the relations were okay or not, are raised due to several such steps that are being taken. The fact that neither Sushant nor Riya had any problems or had approached the police for any such issues, the family felt that Riya was draining Sushant out financially or emotionally. In that condition as well, it was important that they should have filed an official complaint. There is no way that a professionally competent force like Mumbai Police would be asked informally to put somebody behind the bars for a day, or to bring somebody like Riya Chakraborty to the police station and ask, pressurize her, or thoda sa dhos dikhao are the words that were used. How difficult is it for an IPS officer, and remember his wife is also a lawyer, to go and approach a police station and file a police complaint, in view of the fact that these SOS messages are being shown as something that the Mumbai Police failed to act upon. This is the first time that the Mumbai Police have come on record, and this
Big
is from
twist,
the man
certainly.
who was in
This
the
is-
eye of the storm.
this is a
because of
huge
those
interview.
messages. He putting it out loud and clear.
This is a big interview that you have got, Vinaya. Dahiya speaking for the first time, clearly saying that there has been no follow-up. One, that there was enough indication of how the family ties were. Sushant Singh Rajput and his brother-in-law perhaps were not in the best of terms, and that's the reason why he sought help from his counterparts in Maharashtra. But the larger question is, if the family is showing that as an evidence of lack of cooperation on part of Mumbai Police, that they should have acted when that basic text was sent that his life is in danger. What is Mr. Dahiya saying on that?
When he said that in view of such serious allegations, the family should have either filed a complaint or should have followed up at least. The fact that after those two SOS messages, there was no follow-up by the relatives whatsoever with him. In fact, the relative asked him about his health, asked him to help some migrant laborer who got stuck in Mumbai, asked him in the initial conversations to waive off some 5-star food bills. In all this conversation, if saving somebody's life was important, then why was it that it was not followed up at all? Why was it that if somebody's life was in danger, the family was in no inclination or mood to even put the pen to paper or write an email and complain about it? These are the questions that are being
Vinaya,
raised
but
now
the question
after the
is,
testimony of Mr.
but the
Dahiya.
question is, Vinaya, here, that if the family had said, even though it was said informally, could the Mumbai Police have done something?
What could it have done? The two demands that the family had made through these SOS messages was to put Miranda behind the bars and so that he will spill the beans. The snapshots of all these conversations have been exclusively accessed by CNN NEWS18. The second demand that the family made was informally summon Ria to the Bandra police station and to pressurize her. Which of the two demands could be informally met by any professional police force anywhere unless there is a formal complaint and a reason for the police to imprison somebody or to summon somebody to the police station?
Fine enough, Vinaya. Thank you so much for joining us. Vinaya Deshpande is speaking to the former DCP of Bandra who received those SOS